Hello World, Unit 5, Desktop Software, Part 1. Welcome back to our online course with me, your Professor Neil, and my TA, Young-hee.
Hello, welcome back to Unit 5 Desktop Software of a Hello World.
Yes, let's go to the classroom.
Let's go to the classroom.
In today's unit, we are talking about desktop software. You might think it's a fairly basic course, so hopefully this will be a fairly easy unit for you, but we hope to try and challenge you a little bit. So let's start with the warm-up. Are you ready?
Warm up. Desktop software warm up. Ooh, sunshine. Looks very warm. And the gigantic camera.
Yes.
Professor Neil.
So here we are, desktop software. And you can see some of our icons, which will hopefully give you some clues to the types of desktop software. So let's try and give you a few more clues. Young-hee, would you like some pointers, some clues to some of the ideas about what desktop software we will be discussing?
Would those pretty icons be any help?
Yes, so let's look at those pretty icons in a little more detail. So Young-hee, what type of software is found on the desktop?
I have a camera.
Yes, so let's wait for the first ones to come up. Here we go. So what clue is this for what type of desktop software?
Media. Video.
Yes, video software. Okay, that's the first one. Let's bring up the second clue. Here we go. Should be coming up now. Here we go.
Wow, that look quite fancy. He's got two.
So we're talking about Office desktop
Office.
software, things like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and spreadsheets.
That's MS Office.
Yes, and so on. And what other type of software?
Email.
Email or chat. And we're talking about communication software.
Social media.
Yes. And then
And music.
music or
Streaming service.
yes, and
Audio.
audio
setting.
software.
And Google Earth.
Yes. All right, and others types of browsers that relate to internet software. And the last one, which relates to our unit.
It's programming.
And coding, yes.
Yes, like C++.
So those are what types of software are found on the desktop. So Young-hee, would you like to run through some of them again for us? What was the first one?
Video.
Video software, then?
And Office.
Yes.
And email. Music or audio. And internet web browser. And finally,
Programming or coding.
Programming or coding.
Yes, something our students should be quite familiar with. So those are the examples of desktop software. There is lots more, but these are the warm-up and the brief introduction. And we're going to look and discuss them in a little bit more detail in dialogue.
Ooh,
5.1.
dialogue 5.1. We get to meet Hetty and John.
Hetty and John will have a little discussion.
What problem John might have this time?
Well, I don't think... Yeah, he's thinking about presentation software. So, Young-hee, can you name these 4 types of presentation software that I've put on the board?
The first one on the top right corner looks very familiar, and I use it all the time. PowerPoint.
And then we have...
The one below looks new to me. What is it?
That's called Prezi. They are a fairly new online presentation software. I've tried them a couple of times. I didn't use them much, but
I've seen it. They said that one has very good a high quality picture.
Okay, and how about the orange icon?
That one is a keynote.
No, the one at the bottom is Keynote. The orange one is Google Slides.
Ah, Google Slide. I never used it.
So they are presentation software, and John is going to be talking about a presentation. So Yongi, do you have any tips for John? All right, so John, any presentation tips?
There are 3 rules.
Oh, you have 3 rules for presentations?
Yes.
What are your 3 rules for presentations, Yonghee?
Short and simple and sensational.
Oh, okay. KISS. Keep it short and sensational. Okay, interesting.
No, I didn't say KISS, Professor Neil. I said 3S, short,
Oh, 3S.
simple, and sensational.
Interesting.
So I inspired by Steve Jobs.
Good. Okay, well, talking of Steve Jobs. Well, let's go off to the office and join Hedy and John. All right, to see what they are talking about. Hang on, let me just pause it. Yes. So John is telephoning Hedy to discuss his presentation. So let's go listen in on their dialogue. Here we go. Hi, Hedy. I need to make a presentation.
Hi, John. What software are you going to use?
What software do you recommend?
Usually people use PowerPoint.
Yes, but I want to try something new.
How about making a movie?
Oh, wow. A movie?
Yes, you make and edit a movie.
What software edits a movie?
Video editing software edits movie.
I will investigate editing software. Sounds exciting.
Remember to make your presentation informative, fun, and easy to follow.
Okay, Yonghee. Can you just remind us what were Hedy's 3 presentation tips?
She told us something like informative
Yes, make your presentation informative.
and fun.
Make your presentation fun.
And easy.
Easy. And make your presentation easy to follow. So make it informative, make it fun, make it easy to follow.
So I think, Professor Neil, I prefer mine.
Okay, well, yes.
Short, simple, sensational.
Yes, explains just as much.
Short means length and simple means simple images. Sensational means be creative.
Very nice. So Yonghee, so you've got people out there, you have 6 tips. 3 from Hedy, 3 from Yonghee. Okay. So let's keep it short and simple.
Only suggestion, Professor Neil.
Yes, we're not. So just going to run through the dialogue one more time. Yonghee, you read Hedy, I'll read John. Hi, Hedy. I need to make a presentation.
Hi, John. What software are you going to use?
What software do you recommend?
Usually people use PowerPoint.
Yes, but I want to try something new.
How about making a movie?
Oh, wow, a movie.
Yes, you make and edit a movie.
What software edits a movie?
Video editing software edits a movie.
I will investigate editing software. Sounds exciting.
Remember to make your presentation informative, fun, and easy to follow.
Thank you, Yonghee. All right, so now that we've been through it, let's just cover 2... we've done the presentation tips. So is there anything else? Yeah, informative, fun, and easy to follow. And Yonghee's ones.
Short, simple, and sensational.
Yes. So that's the end of our look at the dialogue. Now we're going to move on to reading 5.1.
Oh, new reading.
First reading today. First reading. Let's bring it up. So in this one, we're talking about software programs. Software programs that you find on the desktop and some of their applications. What these applications perform as tasks. So let's look at the reading. Let's bring it up on the screen. So here we have software programs. So I'm going to read it and then we're going to answer the questions afterwards. So let's just read it first. Software programs on a desktop, i.e. the screen, are useful for many reasons. The programs that run on desktops include diagnostic tools, audio players, video players, image viewers, and communication tools. These programs, such as application suites, web browsers, email clients, and chat apps, help users to perform tasks such as write a document, send or write an email, create a presentation, edit a video, edit an image, listen to music, code, write a program, or just chat with a friend.
My friend Kuchioli.
He's gone. So there we have our types of software programs, mainly focusing on diagnostic tools, audio players, video players, image viewers, and communication tools. We discussed those a little bit in the warm-up. And things like application suites, which are office software, web browsers, email clients, and chat apps that perform things like writing documents, sending emails, creating presentations, editing videos, editing images, listening to music, and writing programs, or just chatting with a friend. So, Yonki, we have some questions.
Ooh, here comes the question.
Yes, now that we've removed the reading.
Oh, let me focus,
Whoa.
or think.
So we put it there on the laptop. Let's just move these up onto the bigger screen, our 3 questions, for you to see a bit clearer. Come on, let's get it up on the big screen. Big screen. Are we coming? Sometimes software can be so slow. There we go. Oh, and Yongi's popped in too as well.
Ooh, I got a beautiful rug.
Yes. So,
Thank
Yongi,
you, Professor Neil.
where do users access their software programs?
On desktop computer?
On the desktop, yes. What are some programs that run on the desktop?
Audio players
Yes.
and video players, image viewers, communication tools, and diagnostic tools,
Very good. And what tasks do programs perform?
such as web browsers. Edit a video
Yes.
or write a document, send or write an email, create a presentation, or edit an image, listen to music, code or write a program, or just chat with friend, my
That's-
friend Gutsi Oli.
Yes, that's very nice, Yonghee. Okay, thank you for answering those questions for us. So that was software programs, reading 5.1. That's our introduction to the, and is preparing us to look at the vocabulary and looking at it in a little more detail. So, as we said, we're going to look at vocabulary 5.1.
Ooh, time to memorize lots of English words,
Yes.
vocabulary.
Maybe
Let me write
before
down.
we go to this section, you might want a little drink of water to prepare yourself for the pronunciation stage. Always useful. If you're doing a presentation, always worth having a cup of water so that you can keep your voice clear for when you want to speak, rather than having a dry voice. So I'm going to take a sip of water. One moment. And a crunch of ice. All right, here we go. Real time.
That was very
surreal. All right, let's go for software vocabulary. Here we are. So we're still on our icons and we've looked at the reading, and some of those readings vocabulary will now appear in the software vocabulary. So we're going to have our definition sentences, and it says complete the definition sentences using the software vocabulary given below to describe the task performed by the desktop software program. So we got diagnostic tool, word processor, code editor, image viewer, spreadsheet application, database app, application suite, web browser, chat app, audio player, video player, and email service. These are just some of the vocabulary for software. Obviously, there's a lot more. But our focus here is learning to put them in definition sentences, which are known as declarative sentences, to make your sentences more descriptive. And avoiding here, we are avoiding the be verb. So this is the beginning of using more descriptive verbs. So let's just fire up some of our stuff.
Ooh, kazam!
Yes. Kazam. A bit of magic. Oh, didn't quite work. I'll do it one more time. Ah, there we go. So you can see that the vocabulary should fill in the gaps. Excellent work. Excellent work. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
If I get everything correct. Ooh,
Then
he's disappeared.
Then you win a free computer.
Oh.
No. So, we will provide those answers, as you know, later on in the review at the end of Unit 10. Yonghee, do you want to have a guess at number 1?
I think number 1 is a diagnostic tool highlights problems with the computer.
Okay. So in that sentence, what is the predicate?
Predicate is a verb phrase, so it should be highlight.
Yes, so notice the use of this word predicate. We are changing the way we talk about the vocabulary a little bit in this unit. Previously, we used the term main verb. But we're going to move on from vocabulary on to grammar. And in grammar, you will notice a new vocabulary grammar term, predicate. So let's say goodbye to vocabulary. And hello, grammar! 5.1. So we're going to move into the grammar section now. Let's talking about a slight change in the way we talk about grammar. So previously so in this section we are going to be looking at our noun phrases, the subject, object, and introducing the predicate. You might wonder what this phrase is, predicate, and also the phrase declarative sentence. Now, declarative sentences are the sentences most used when speaking English or writing English. They are the best sentences. And the declarative sentence is used to describe actions, things, ideas, peoples, and so on, etc. Now, bad grammar, the software the desktop runs. But a good declarative sentence is the software runs the desktop. Now, this is done by using the subject and object. So let's just change the bit. So here, the software is the subject, runs the desktop, the object. Now, I've highlighted the software in green. Yonghee, can you add why the software is in green?
I think because it's a subject as a whole chunk rather than the or software.
A little bit. What type of phrase is it?
Noun phrase.
Noun phrase. And what about the object? What type of phrase is that?
Noun phrase as well.
And runs?
That's a verb phrase, but we call it predicate.
Ah, see, yes. So here, as Yonghee correctly said, the subject is a noun phrase. The object is a noun phrase. They are both noun phrases. This is quite common for the subject and object, but we will not always be marking them in green. But we just want to highlight them at this point because we've been talking about it before. So here you can see a good declarative sentence is noun phrase, verb phrase, noun phrase, subject, predicate, object. So you've been hearing us say predicate. Let's just mention what this predicate is. The predicate, main verb, P, connects the subject S and the object O in a declarative sentence. So you can see here, the software, subject, runs, predicate, the desktop, object. So we have noun phrase, verb phrase, noun phrase.
Professor Neil, so that means in good grammar, declarative sentence should have subjects, which is noun phrase, appear before predicate, and object should appear after verb phrase, predicate.
Yes.
So otherwise it becomes bad grammar. So the order of subject, predicate, object in English is very important grammar.
Yes. And a declarative sentence done in this way is the best and easiest method for making yourself understood. It is not easy. It takes practice, a lot of practice to get it right. So here are some examples of subject, predicate, object sentences with a noun phrase, verb phrase, noun phrase, but not always. Sometimes there's a bit more. It's not always this pattern, but the first three sentences here are. So if we give it with a bit of colour, maybe that will help you. Okay. So, Yonghee, any thoughts? So the first three, the application executes the program, the programmer writes a new line of code, the code doesn't compile the data, are all subject, predicate, object.
So we call it executes, writes, doesn't compile, requires, call predicate, because they are chunk of verb phrase that has more than one word.
Yes. In the last sentence, the data requires someone is the object. To input it is, Yonghee?
As a whole, someone to eat can be object. So the data requires that someone to input it. So from that to eat, which that doesn't show here, but as a whole, entire short sentence become object.
So to input should be green too?
In this case, yes, because the entire chunk is object.
Oh. Okay, there we go. As Yonghee said, one whole chunk makes the object.
So, Professor Neil, here is the example. Here are the examples that we want to share our knowledge that sentences consist of subject, predicate, object.
Yes.
So the element of sentence, subject, predicate, object can come as more than one word.
Yes, more than one words. And that is something we can focus on it by practicing.
It is not easy at the moment, but gradually we can improve by practice.
Practice. Practice makes perfect.
Oh.
Yes, so practice is now here.
Practice time.
I practice A5. And again, it's just focusing on what we came across before, but this time by thinking about it being a declarative sentence with subject, predicate, object.
Oh, the magician guy is
He's
back.
back! And he's just going to do a bit of magic for us.
Ka-chum!
So there he says, what software plays music and audio plays music?
Ooh, so rest of the questions we have to answer?
So that should be an audio player plays music.
It's not an audio plays music, it's an audio player plays music.
Yes, because we're focusing on the type of software here. So as you can see, in each case, it's going to be subject, predicate, object. We already covered this before in the vocabulary, so really you're just going over the same exercise, but practice makes perfect, understanding the sentences and seeing their patterns.
So we can get a hint for the answers to these questions for practice A-5 from the vocabulary section.
Yes. It's basically the same section, but just you marking things subject, predicate, object. Well, that is the end of part 1.
Wow, we finished part 1.
Already, yes.
That's great.
And let's give you the closing screen. So we'll see you in part 2. For now, take a break because the end is nigh.
The end is nice. See you.
In part 2. Bye.
Bye.